For 4 days, the man who controls the most dangerous government in the Middle East said absolutely nothing. No video, no speech, no press conference. Not a single word. Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, had been appointed on March 8th. His own succession rally happened in Tehran, and he was not there. Supporters stood in a crowd holding up a photograph of him because there was nothing else to hold. Then, today, Thursday, March 12th, he finally broke his silence. And what he said did not bring this war closer to ending. It made it impossible in a written statement read aloud by a state TV anchor, because the man himself still has not appeared on camera. Mojtaba Khamenei delivered 4 declarations that every government on earth is now processing with alarm. Number 1, the Strait of Hormuz must remain closed. He called it, and I am quoting directly here, a tool to pressure the enemy. Number 2, all U.S. military bases in the Middle East must shut down immediately. And if they do not, quote, those bases will be attacked. Number 3, Iran has studied the opening of brand new war fronts, ones where, in his words, the enemy has little experience and is highly vulnerable. And number 4, the 3 conditions Iran demands before this war ends. Those 3 conditions are the reason I made this video today. Because when you read them carefully, when you understand what Iran is actually asking for and what Washington can never agree to, you realize this is not a war moving toward a negotiated end. This is a war being locked into a longer, more dangerous phase. Before I break down exactly what those 3 demands are, why each one is a red line for the United States, and what happens to oil prices, your groceries, and the global economy if this war has no visible exit, hit the subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. This story is moving faster than almost anything I have covered. And what happens in the next 72 hours will determine whether diplomatic back channels can pull this back from the edge. You need to be here when the next development breaks. Let me show you exactly what is in that statement. And more importantly, let me show you what the headlines are not telling you, what Mojtaba Khamenei actually said, word by word. Quick context first. Mojtaba Khamenei, 56 years old, was selected as Iran's 3rd supreme leader on March 8th, 10 days after his father, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was killed in U.S.-Israeli airstrikes on February 28th. The same strike that killed his father also killed his mother, his wife, and his son. He himself sustained leg injuries, including a fractured foot, in that same attack. He has not appeared publicly since. Now, when a head of state communicates only through a written statement read by a TV anchor, after 4 days of total silence, every word in that statement carries enormous weight. Intelligence agencies around the world do not just read what was said. They analyze what was included, what was left out, the order in which points were made, and the specific language chosen. So let me walk through this statement the way analysts are walking through it right now. Point 1. He opened with a vow of revenge. Iran will not refrain from avenging the blood of its martyrs. He specifically mentioned a strike on a girls' school in Minab in southern Iran that occurred on March 1st. According to Iranian state media and confirmed by UN investigators, between 165 and 180 people were killed in that strike, most of them school children. The UN condemned it as one of the deadliest single strikes of the war. CNN's analysis suggested U.S. responsibility. Both the U.S. and Israel denied involvement. Mojtaba Khamenei said, every person killed in this war is, and I am quoting, an independent case for revenge. Think about what that language means strategically. He is not saying Iran will seek one act of revenge and then consider the account settled. He is saying every single casualty. And the UN Refugee Agency reported today that 3.2 million people have been displaced inside Iran alone. Every single casualty is its own open account, its own individual obligation for retaliation. That is not the language of a government preparing for a negotiated ceasefire. Point 2, he addressed the Strait of Hormuz directly. Certainly the lever of blocking the Strait of Hormuz must continue to be used. And then he went further. He said the strait's closure should be used as, his words, a tool to pressure the enemy. Not as a one-time military tactic, not as a temporary measure, a tool, something you pick up, apply pressure with, and put down only when you get what you want. Oil markets reacted within minutes of the statement being read. Brent crude, which had briefly pulled back toward $90 a barrel following the IEA's historic reserve release of 400 million barrels, jumped back above $100 immediately after the statement. The market understood what the analysts understood. This closure is not temporary. This closure is the primary negotiating leverage Iran has, and Iran's new leader just told the world he intends to keep using it. Point 3, he warned neighboring countries, he told the Gulf Arab states directly to shut down U.S. military bases on their territory. He said the protection Washington promises them is, quote, nothing more than a lie. And he said that while Iran is not attacking those countries themselves, the bases hosted on their soil will continue to be struck. Overnight, before this statement was even released, Iran demonstrated it was not making empty threats. A container ship was hit with a projectile off the coast of Dubai. A major fire broke out on Muharraq Island in Bahrain near the international airport. A drone struck a residential building in Kuwait, wounding 2 people. Dubai's air defenses were activated twice to protect the city. Saudi Arabia shot down a drone targeting the diplomatic corridor in Riyadh. That is 5 Gulf Arab countries hit in a single night. Point 4, he revealed something that analysts were not expecting, he said. And I want you to read this carefully. Studies have been conducted regarding the opening of other fronts in which the enemy has little experience and is highly vulnerable. Activating them will take place if the state of war continues and if it serves our interests. He did not say which fronts. He did not give details, but Iran has previously been linked to operations targeting U.S., Israeli, and guarantees. Iran wants formal binding international guarantees, backed by international law and verified by the United Nations, that neither the United States nor Israel will ever attack Iran again. Getting a U.S. president to sign a binding, legally enforceable promise to never use military force against Iran would require Senate ratification, since it would function as a treaty. A Senate that just watched American service members die in combat against Iran would need to ratify a permanent non-aggression guarantee. That scenario does not exist in any political reality currently visible. And the Israeli government, whose stated objective alongside destroying Iran's nuclear program has been the permanent degradation of Iran's military threat to Israel's survival, would need to sign a binding promise never to act against the country that spent decades building weapons and funding proxy forces explicitly designated for Israel's destruction. That is not a diplomatic solution. That is a surrender document. Now here is the critical question that every analyst and government is wrestling with right now. Are these demands real? Or are they a starting position in a negotiation? An opening offer designed to be walked back towards something that could actually be agreed to. The other side has a point. Here's where they're right. I want to be fair here, because there is another interpretation of these demands, and it deserves honest examination. The argument for optimism, such as it is. First, U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff sent 2 formal proposals to Tehran on Tuesday, March 10th. Iran did not respond publicly, but the fact that communication channels exist, that proposals are being sent and received at all, tells you that the door to negotiation has not been completely slammed shut. When governments are truly committed to no negotiation, they do not receive proposals, they refuse the channel entirely. Second, Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi told PBS News on Wednesday that his country was prepared to talk. He added that guarantees would be required, but he did not say the 3 conditions were non-negotiable in every detail. Diplomatic language leaves room. The question is whether anyone can find it. Third, Russia matters here. Pezeshkian spoke with Putin before making the public announcement of the 3 conditions. According to the Kremlin readout, Putin expressed support for de-escalation. Russia has more leverage over Iran than it is currently exercising. If Moscow decides a ceasefire is in its strategic interest, it has tools to push Tehran toward flexibility. And here is the strongest counterargument of all. Iran's IRGC-controlled government is losing militarily. Their missile activity has dropped 86% from where it started. Their ballistic missile stockpiles have been severely degraded. Their navy has been largely destroyed. Their nuclear facilities are rubble. A government that has lost this much military capability has a strong incentive to find an exit that preserves face, even if the public demands sound impossible. But here is the problem with the optimistic interpretation. Iran's new supreme leader's statement today was not a diplomatic message with coded signals of flexibility. It was a statement of defiance. Every point in it was designed for a domestic Iranian audience that has watched its capital bombed, its leadership killed, its children buried. The political pressure on Mojtaba Khamenei, a man who owes his position entirely to the IRGC, is to demonstrate strength, not accommodation. Reuters cited 5 senior Iranian sources who described the new leadership as moving toward, quote, a more radical direction. One reformist former official said the IRGC now has full control. Alex Vatanka, senior fellow at the Middle East Institute, said directly, Mojtaba owes his position to the Revolutionary Guards, and as such, he is not going to be as supreme as his father was. His father could rein in the IRGC. His father had 37 years of built authority to say no to their worst escalation proposals. Mojtaba Khamenei does not have that authority. He cannot exercise it even if he wanted to. The IRGC does not negotiate through him. They govern through him. That is the gap between the optimistic interpretation and the ground reality. And right now, the gap is enormous. This is not just a geopolitical story. It's already in your wallet. Let me show you why this matters beyond headlines and maps and geopolitical analysis. Because this war, and specifically the question of whether Iran's 3 conditions make it impossible to end, is already costing ordinary people money. Today, right now. Oil. When this war began on February 28th, Brent crude was trading at approximately $80 a barrel. By March 12th, today, it is back above $100 following Mojtaba Khamenei's statement, having touched $119.50 at its peak. That is a 38% increase in 13 days. Reuters reported this morning that oil supertanker rates had hit an all-time high of $423,736 per day, a 94% increase in a single week. Every time an Iranian official signals that the Hormuz closure is permanent policy rather than temporary tactic, oil markets reprice upward. The new supreme leader just made that signal as clearly as possible. His first public words included the phrase tool to pressure the enemy in reference to the Strait. He did not say temporary measure. He did not say we will reopen it when conditions are met. He said it must continue to be used. Present tense, ongoing policy. Wood Mackenzie's analysts project oil reaching $150 per barrel if the closure continues for more than a few weeks. At $150, U.S. retail gas prices reach $5.50 to $6.00 nationally. That is money leaving every American family's budget every week, compounding.